Aloha, welcome to TMDR, the Maui Daily Report for St. Patrick's Day, Monday, March 17th, 2025. I'm Chivo Chen Johnson. These are some of the stories that may interest you today. It certainly has nothing to do with the luck of the Irish, but a multi-vehicle head-on accident early this morning at Hanoapi'ilani Highway and the Lahaina Bypass resulted in 3 patients being taken to the hospital with head injuries, requiring medics to take extra spinal precautions. Witnesses reported that several drivers stopped to help and figured out how to keep traffic moving during the critical commuter hour. A chilling reminder of the importance of community and attentive driving. The 442nd Regimental Combat Team is one of the most decorated in the history of the United States. A webpage celebrating the heroism of the Japanese-American soldiers who won battle after battle in Europe and in the Far East during World War II has been scrubbed from official U.S. military websites as part of President Donald Trump's purge of programs and military history that speak of diversity, equality, and inclusion. However, just before press time, we learned that Governor Josh Green, after late-night discussions with White House officials, succeeded in restoring the legacy of the 442nd Regiment web page on the federal military website. It's there now. Good save, Governor. Trump or no Trump, the Maui community is keeping the importance of the 442nd known with stories and films like Shikata ga nai, a Japanese phrase meaning it cannot be helped. The title of a powerful feature-length independent film which will make its Maui premiere on Saturday, April 12th at 1:30 p.m. at the Nisei Veterans Memorial Center. Michaela DuPont moved into a Makawao home last summer with her boyfriend and his mother, but their relationship became unraveled as she grappled with mental health issues, prompting an ill-fated 911 call on February 1st to get her help. Within minutes of the officer arrival at the Makawao home, DuPont was shot and killed by an officer after she moved toward him with a knife. The family says the police should have de-escalated the situation. Civil Beat requested the department's use of force policy a month ago, but the department has not provided it. MPD also declined to provide body camera footage showing what happened before DuPont entered the kitchen where she was killed. Our boards and commissions do a lot, but there are 37 of them, so numerous boards and commissions have been paralyzed by vacancies for this past year. Important decisions like rebuilding Lahaina, penalty appeals for owners of dangerous dogs, and investigations into official misconduct have been stalled. The county's boards and commissions now have an 18% vacancy rate. A number of seats have been filled, but most of the 57 empty seats are vacant because 2024 deadlines to nominate members were missed. Recently, the Maui County Council unanimously passed an ordinance establishing a process to fill vacancies when a deadline is missed. The bill awaits the mayor's signature. The public is advised of a water quality reading indicating excessive fecal matter in waters off Oluwalu Landing. Levels of 738 per 100 milliliters have been detected during routine beach monitoring. That's way above the threshold level of 130 per 100 milliliters. The beach was posted on Friday. This advisory will remain in effect until water sample results no longer exceed the threshold levels. It's mind-blowing in this day and age that residents of Molokai have no way to get on and off the Friendly Isle without taking a plane or hitching a ride on someone's boat. While the only ferry route currently runs between Maui and Lanai, the only way to reach Molokai right now is by air. often leaving residents stranded from reaching doctor appointments. It will cost $300,000 to complete a feasibility study to determine that Maui County would need a subsidy of nearly $2 million annually to operate an inter-island ferry system and more than $46 million to purchase and expand the fleet owned by the company that runs routes between Maui and Lanai. The Council will discuss that study when it comes up during the upcoming fiscal year budget meetings. Budget deliberations will begin in April and be broadcast live on Akaku Channel 53. The Hula Girl has finally wriggled off the reef in Honolulu Bay. After nearly 2 months, the 65-foot catamaran that ran aground during the January winter storm has been removed from Honolulu Bay. The 2-day venture to remove the vessel was made complicated by the inclement weather we had on Thursday and Friday. But once the lines were secured to the tugboat, Hula Girl was successfully freed within an hour. The good news is that an initial damage assessment found that no coral, fish, or invertebrates were harmed, and so far it appears that no fuel or oil was spilled. A surprising University of Hawaii study found that some areas of Hawaii, especially Oahu, are sinking up to 40 times faster than the island-wide average of 0.6 millimeters per year. This accelerates flood risks as sea level rise, especially in urban areas. Researchers warn that the flooding will occur sooner than expected, urging much faster preparation. I will eat them in a house, I will eat them with a mouse. I will eat them here and there, I will eat them everywhere. I'd eat them in school if I were there because public school kids across the state are getting green eggs and ham for breakfast for the month of March. DOE is mixing 145 pounds of local green onions and spinach with eggs to feed thousands of students at 78 participating schools. Thank you to the good Dr. Seuss. To further address food insecurity, Maui Food Bank has celebrated the launch of the Mobile Market, a new mobile food distribution program set to primarily serve areas with limited resources like West Maui, Hana, and Upcountry. Funded by a grant from the American Red Cross, the Mobile Market will operate multiple days per week, prioritizing fire survivors and those who qualify based on need. The Hawaii Climate Change Mitigation and Adaptation Commission is offering a new round of grants to support regenerative land management across the state. The grants will be awarded to 10 to 15 applicants to implement practices such as agroforestry, native reforestation, and soil health improvements. Grantees can also employ practices that reduce carbon emissions and promote carbon sequestration and storage. Applications are open through April 1st of this year. More details are available at this website below. Next up, we have a segment from Pacific Biodiesel on their work with regenerative farming practices.
Pacific Biodiesel is the oldest biodiesel company in America. We had the first commercial biodiesel pump open to the public in the United States. The farm goes along with our whole philosophy of sustainability. We started out that way in Pacific Biodiesel, and the farm is an extension of that. Aloha, I'm Kelly King, founder of Pacific Biodiesel with my husband Bob King. We're here on our farm on Maui, 114 acres. Pacific Biodiesel is a renewable fuel company. We make clean-burning biodiesel for diesel engines out of used cooking oil. So we're taking a very caustic substance that used to go into the landfill, and now we're turning it into a really nice, clean-burning, locally made fuel. The sunflowers that we grow here are part of that whole sustainable model, and we make culinary oils out of the sunflowers. That's being sold to the restaurants here. We then take the used cooking oil from the restaurants and make it into biodiesel, the restaurants are now part of the whole sustainability loop. All of the equipment on this farm runs on 100% biodiesel. I believe we're the only farm, maybe even in the state of Hawaii, running on 100% renewable energy. It's really important to create biodiversity. We've been monocropping for hundreds of years in the state of Hawaii, and it's really killed a lot of the soil. We've used 0 pesticides on this farm. We are actually working towards no-till right now. We're doing some tilling because we're working on land that was farmed in sugarcane. But the goal is to get to no-till, to do things as healthy as possible. Cover cropping works. We're doing cowpeas, but you can use sun hemp, you can use chickpeas. And those are actual crops that if you weren't turning them in, put the nitrogen back into the soil, then you know it grows. If you ever wanted to pivot and go, now we're going to grow chickpeas, we can put that in and we know it grows and we know how it grows. The market may be there. I think those are the benefits, is it helps you be able to diversify so that you're ready for other crops at the time when you may need to pivot. Some of the other practices that we're doing are water conservation, so that's why we got the pivot, and we were able to access a United States government program to give us a loan for the pivot. This is a new component for farming on Maui. The amount of water that we can put on this efficiently at a moment's notice has been a game changer for us, because before we were pretty much at the mercy of the rain, and we would plant sunflowers around the rain. No matter what the size of your farm, these regenerative practices can work for you, and actually, my personal opinion is they work better on a smaller farm. Thinking of yourself as an entrepreneur, getting involved in the business aspect, connecting with the Women Farmer Network is really important. That's where you're going to find the information that's really pertinent to you, that's going to help you get there.
The Ides of March are upon us. Up next, we leave you with what that means and some fine examples of some Roman delicacies from those days of yore.
Today, March 15th, is otherwise known as the Ides of March. The phrase was made famous by William Shakespeare in his play Julius Caesar. He wrote the lines, "Beware the Ides of March," to commemorate one of the most iconic murders in the history of the world, the assassination of the first Roman emperor, Julius Caesar, back in 44 BC. It was some toga party. His attackers stabbed him 23 times on his way to the Senate and left him for dead. A century or so later, the ancient Romans made March 15th a feast day and chowed down some of the original Italian food. Yummy delicacies like sow udder stuffed with salted sea urchins, boiled flamingo garnished with dates. Look at his cute little feet. Ostriches, roasted and cooked whole, with maybe a nice marinara sauce. And to top it all off, how about a nice stuffed dormouse? Stuffed dormouse. So why not enjoy some authentic ancient Roman cuisine this Ides of March, or you could just settle for a Caesar salad. Bon appetit!
And if you're planning to go out tonight to celebrate Kamehameha III's birthday or a St. Patrick's Day, plan your sober ride home by scheduling a rideshare beforehand, having the number for a taxi in your phone, or designating a sober friend to drive. If you feel different, you drive different. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. That's it for today's Maui Daily Report. Mahalo for joining us, and please keep watching Akaku channels 53, 54, and 55. You can watch Akaku at akaku.org or on your phone 24/7 with our app Maui Stream. This is how we stay connected. And speaking of being connected, make sure you sign up for this week's Akaku Upstairs. That's on Thursday, as we host extraordinary sculptor Dale Zarella and Dwayne Sparkman from Tree Covery, Hawaii. Call Akaku to reserve your seat at 808-871-5554. Now, the doors open at 5:30 p.m. this Thursday, and the presentation is from 6 to 7:30. You'll enjoy it. I'm Chivo Ching Johnson. Have a fantastic St. Patrick's Day evening. Drive carefully, stay healthy, and keep smiling. Aloha.
Hooray, 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 me boys, hooray. We'll drink to dear old Ireland all on St. Patrick's Day. Hooray, 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 me boys, hooray. We'll drink to dear old Ireland all on St. Patrick's Day. The drums will lead us in parade as we march up and down. Pipes and whistles